What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Theron's Thoughts. My name's Theron Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just crushing it here in Los Angeles, people. I'm sure you're reading about my exploits in the newspaper. Just the Hollywood trades. Theron Shetty just going to coffee shops, going to every coffee shop he can and spending all his money. And no, I'm just, hanging out with friends. Last night I went to a comedy show. I went to the show. See, I'm like a dangerous position in my life because I do care, but I don't care, right? So I'll go to these. Last night I went to this comedy show called The Dime, the show I hate. My friend runs it. Thing about LA, these rooms. Well, I went to an open mic actually first. I went to an open mic to try out some jokes because I've been writing every day, and then I went to another room where I could have gotten up. I decided I don't like that room. My friend runs it, but it's weird being in LA because, I go to Side Splitters in Tampa, and literally the guys on the wall, like the posters, are people from LA, right? Some of these guys I've known forever, right? Like there's this guy named Jeff Dye, who is a comedian, nice guy, really good looking dude, and I haven't seen him in like 10 years. I heard he's like always with like hot chicks out. The first thing I said to him, I was like, hey man, I heard you're smashing every girl in town. He's like, what? Who told you that? That's the first thing I said to him. Then just like walked away. Like it was so awkward, but I just don't care. I mean, I kind of like the awkward moments between comedians. And hey, you know what? I'm going back to Florida anyways. It doesn't matter to me. But the smart person would probably talk to these comedians and be like, "Hey man, when you roll through Tampa, can I open for you?" Of course, I don't do that. Instead, I try to have these funny moments for myself. But it was fun just to go chill out for a minute. There was also a birthday party um, at the Haha Cafe for one of the bookers, but really don't give a fuck, so I didn't go. I just came home instead and, got my brother's dog. But I do have an interesting story, though, about the open mic because uh, I saw these two kids there, right? These two, African American young guys, like 21, 22. And one guy was like a really good joke writer, right? And I told him, I always like talk afterwards to these young comedians. I was like, hey man, I was like, keep writing jokes, man. I was like, you really stood out. Like something, I see something there. You remind me of this comedian named Warren Hutcherson. He's this guy. Oh, there's a dog in the back. Warren Hutcherson is this guy who did the Def Comedy Jam back in the day. This really smart, educated black dude from Maryland, and he's so funny. He created the Bernie Mac show, and I actually got to meet him. Then later I got to almost develop a show with him in my, industry days. Didn't work out, but I told this young kid, I was like, hey man, you're doing great. Keep showing up these mics. And this other kid was this kid from New York, and he told me he came to LA because he wanted to level up and just wanted to do more than just stand up. And I really respected that. I was like, a lot of comics go to New York to just do stand up, but this kid was like, no, I want to act, I want to write, I want to produce. And I was like, yeah, that's why you come to LA. That's why I was telling all those people in Florida. I was like, we gotta make that jump at some point. At least try. If you don't try, you don't know. I mean, I tried. At least I tried. You cannot take that away from me. But anyways, it was kind of cool to see that these two young comedians, in their I guess inception, going to an open mic. And then me and my buddy sitting next to me, he's had like two Comedy Central specials. We're there too because that's the art form. I mean, it's about the craft, right? If you're really in it to win it, you're constantly trying to evolve. And I mean, that's why I was there. I mean, I get kind of angsty if I'm not performing jokes, if I'm not, writing and trying out stuff. There's a quote which I've told my friends, like, you'll never go to like a music concert and see like a jazz band followed by the Boston Pops Orchestra. But at a comedy show, you'll see someone doing comedy like, 20 years and then someone doing comedy, 3 months because, they blew up on TikTok. Like, that's the comedy scene. And it's really easy to get angry and bitter and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, whenever I focus on the craft and try not to think about the business side and who's doing better than me and, all that nonsense, I feel good. Last night was fun. I think a lot of comedy, if you're not having fun, then why are you doing it? because otherwise it's so miserable. You gotta have fun, right, in your jobs. Like, I never really understood that whole thing. Like, somebody once told me, dude, you know what, man, just get a job. Nobody has fun in their life. Like, nobody likes their job. Like, that's what work is. I don't know if I subscribe to that. Like, why can't you like enjoy your job too? Like, why can't you take some pleasure out of it? Anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk soon. Thanks for watching.